Hey DF dudes, with the 30th anniversary of PlayStation looming, could we see a return of Ridge Racer? I would even be happy with an updated collection starting from the beginning. Thanks for all your hard work. I think I'd be happy with an updated collection starting all the way from the beginning. John, what about you?
I mean, I would love anything Ridge Racer related, including a new sequel. But uh, yeah, I mean, a collection by itself, but like done well, like sort of an enhanced collection is what I would like, where you present those original games in their most pristine possible form, eliminate some of the problems like the texture warping and from the PlayStation games, get the arcade games in there properly. Rave Racer should be there. I would really love to see that at some point, but I still really want a proper sequel, especially when you look at what Namco's managed to do with Tekken and Ace Combat. The last entries in both those series are both phenomenal, and I would love to see that level of quality applied to Ridge Racer.
hmm Yeah, I mean, I think we actually had a pretty good prototype of how this should actually work with the PSP games,
Oh yeah. Oh
where
my
essentially
God.
it was like pretty much every track they'd ever made,
Yep, that's
all
true.
but all sort of shoehorned into one excellent game. That would be one way to do it. I guess I don't know how much commonality there was with the PlayStation 3 version of was it Ridge Racer 7
Yeah, Ridge Racer
and the
7, good.
and the entire sort of collection of maps there probably quite limited, right?
Ridge Racer 7 was mostly derived from 6, which was mostly new tracks.
Right. Okay, so there would be a lot of work to do there. It's worth doing though. I do think there needs to be some appreciable effort made for this 30th anniversary because PlayStation 5 Pro hints apart, we've not yet seen anything sort of substantial or
No,
amazing from Sony.
not at all.
Um, yeah, Oliver, what do you make of this?
I think it'd be cool. I think like a lot of these older franchises that are sort of dormant, any activity would be exciting. I think at this point, I'm
Hmm.
sure John would have to sympathize with that perspective. I know that for a hot second there, it looked like Ace Attorney was going dormant, and they brought it back with some remasters. And even though that was not the same as the new game, I think that a remaster can be exciting. And even if it doesn't lead to anything new, like what we saw with the Wipeout Omega collection, it can be good to just to replay those games and enjoy them again. So for sure, I mean, I'm not super enamored with Ridge Racer necessarily as a series in the same way that John is, but I think it'd be fantastic to see new ports. I know that there is one Ridge Racer game, maybe more, that are playable on PS5. Maybe you could correct me. Ridge Racer PSP, I think, is on
Yeah, it
PS5,
is.
but I think that might be it. I'm not sure.
It's not fantastic, particularly, really, is it, in terms of the overall sort of celebration of the franchise?
No.
Um,
No.
Well, what can I say? I think at the very least, having access to the games would be good, which presents the question of what you're going to do with Ridge Racer 7, which I think is overdue a port of some description. Surely you could just put it out on Nintendo Switch as is,
Yep.
based on the PS3 version, and you've got a viable business model, I think. So just getting the games out would be a good thing to do. Beyond that, an updated collection featuring all the tracks and essentially rebooting the PSP model that we saw for PlayStation 5, I think that would be fantastic too. It just annoys me and irks me slightly that the franchise was allowed to go dormant. I guess it kind of happened in the PS360 era, didn't it?
Did, yeah.
The Vita version didn't do particularly well, and
Wasn't good.
3DS. Yeah,
Well, it
and
played okay, but it was really limited in terms of what it offered. And then they did that Unbounded game, which was made by
Hmm.
like what was it? The studio that did like I forget.
Bugbear?
Was it? Yeah, I was gonna say Bugbear, but that felt like a weird name. But I guess that actually was it, huh? Yeah,
right.
I don't love Ridge Racer Unbounded. It's an interesting game, but it feels nothing like Ridge Racer, and that just kind of killed off the series. Those two things at once.
Yeah, Bugbear Entertainment. That was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that was the developer there. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just a bit of a shame, really. We really should be seeing something a lot better to
Hmm.
celebrate the 30th anniversary, and something for Wipeout as well. I think those two games basically defined the kind of PlayStation zeitgeist, really.
I think they just have a hard time figuring out how to make arcade style racing games work in the modern era. And it seems like the approach everyone wants to take is let's make open world games like Forza Horizon. I think that's
Right.
not the right approach, and that
Not for
would
Ridge
be
Racer, certainly.
that would be a bad idea for Ridge Racer. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Okay.
they gotta find something. There's got to be some way to make it work.